Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Ecammers, where y'all at? If you're not Philly, you're not watching the Sixers game. Holla at me. Where you at? See if I can see y'all. I'll just check. See. Just making noise up there. All right, I'll wait for people to come in the room. Not everybody likes making noise upstairs. Ladies and gentlemen, so one thing's for sure. There is a CAMLINK problem. And I know a lot of you are having CAMLINK problems. And so if you're there, holler at me. Let me know if you're having CAMLINK problems like most people are. Sorry to hear that, but I'm here to help if I can. All right, let's kill the music and I'll just talk and say my piece. So about these CAMLINKs, I just want to say this. I am still running 1 2 3 4 5 6 2 4 6. I'm running 7 CAMLINKs on this computer, and for whatever reason, I have like a few clients, and I end up realizing that they've gotten the latest everything fully blown out, blah, 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 blah. And they were inspired by watching a lot of stuff that I was doing. And I'm just a geek freak. And so I want to play around with this stuff. I want to do it. I got time for it. Most people don't have time for it. One of the most misleading things that happens is the fact that in your ECAMM, you can do so many things, but ECAMM has to work with everybody else's stuff. And so I think that the twins play fair. They got their stuff under control, but they cannot control what everybody else is doing. There you have it. So what ends up happening is, that's India. So what ends up happening is, thank you, K12. So what ends up happening is that people will see Ecammers, and I'm going to say Ecammers because this is basically ECAMM. I'm live on my YouTube also, but I'm going to stick with Ecammers. People see you, and because we're so unique, Sammy, what's going on? We do what we do. The issue is that a lot of times we blame ECAMM sometimes for trying to mimic what other people are doing or being inspired by other people, and it's not really an ECAMM problem, right? So here's the thing. What's up, Robert? Here's the thing. I haven't been live a lot, but I'm going to do a little bit more frequent because now I'm in a rut because I end up with clients in a sense, right? Or consults that are like, hey, yo, I'm going to get ECAMM. And I'm like, cool, get it. But the thing is, their thought is, I'm going to get ECAMM and do exactly what you do. And it's like, I don't guarantee. And when it doesn't happen, it's not an ECAMM problem. It's something about your own configuration that has nothing to do with ECAMM. Now, to explain what I'm talking about, I'm just going to show you. Right now, I'm running 7 cameras, and this is something I just started to notice. I watched what Adrian was posting, talking with Doc Rock and a few others. India, I think she's in the comments section, and she mentioned about DeckLink. I just looked it up, and here's the problem. This sucker's going to be like $500, and then I think you have to get an enclosure for it, and then you can only plug 4 cameras in there. Understand my situation right now. It's 7 of these things going right now. Now, the hard news. I was running all 7 of these cameras on my first Mac Mini M1, and it was still working. However, let me be clear. Okay, you there? All right, sis. So let me be clear. I was running all of these cameras, but I started running into a freeze problem. And in a sense, I cannot make this factual, but I can say everything that we're asking for, there it is. Thank you, India. With everything together, you're talking about $800 to do it. India's got the bread to chase the cat. Other people may have the bread to chase the cat, right? Thank you. You know, and listen, knock on wood, whoever this user is, you can say, like, you can throw your name in there because I can't see them unless I look on the other thing. And you're right. So I do check this camera right here, would be the one with the most latency. That would be this guy. This is running through Edelchrome, a little piece, and it's running through something, and then I got a matte box on it. So I would expect this, if you notice, is a little bit darker, and I do that for mood more so, right? There's 3 cameras in my HDMI. There is oh, I didn't set this one back. Okay, let me move this. Oh, geez, that's muted. Sorry. But one of the cameras that I got set up back here, I'll just get it together for you. I'm gonna go to the camera configuration and get the love camera, and the love camera is B. Okay, so let me go to B, right? There's 3 things sitting over here, right? There's 1, 2, 3, and then I have this screen up here hooked up. These guys are my outputs, right, for my confidence monitors. All of this crap is running on this Mac Studio, but the Mac Studio, I just have a 32 gig. It's not the Ultra, and it's handling this. If you look right behind me here, there's a Stream Deck in the bottom of your left-hand screen next to this camera here. There's a Stream Deck. That Stream Deck is for the table that's back here. So if I'm sitting at the table and I'm hosting on the red mic, I just pull the Stream Deck over, and everything I'm doing over here, like flipping the cameras and stuff, I can do it from over there. So if I'm at that table and I want to get a shot here back there at the table, I'm on the table with the Stream Deck. Listen closely what I'm about to tell you. I'm running 2 Stream Decks, Stream Deck pedal, right? 2 Stream Deck XLs, Stream Deck pedal. I have 2 USB hubs, and they're cheap ones off of Amazon. But then I have a CalDigit T3 and then the Element hub. They're all plugged in, and my keyboard, which is underneath the desk. Let's not get that twisted. There's a keyboard right here, and this is USB, all going into one computer. Now, the issue that happens is I think we have a troubleshooting of configuration problem that most people aren't paying attention to. And that means that when you got the ECAMM, so your juices are flowing, and you're like, oh, I see India had the camera that did this, and then somebody else had a slider, and then somebody else got the jib moving and all of that, and we get excited and we grab all this extra stuff, and then when something doesn't work, we go, see, I'm gonna go back to so-and-so. No, wait, don't abandon ship now. It's your choice. Okay, hear what I'm saying? It's your choice to grab extra stuff. So this is not for the faint at heart. ECAMM is for everybody, right? But the tech clusterfunk of crap that can happen is on us as individuals. Okay, listen closely. It's on us as individuals. So I think that if we pay more attention to certain things, like, and this is not just to put him on a pedestal, but Doc Rock has been in this game for a long time. Then you have other people, right, that we troubleshoot. Listen to the troubleshooters, not to do what I do, not it can be done just because I did it. Because this is where my heart goes out to everybody. I am not sure what the magic trick is. I don't need a deck link. I don't know what the magic trick is. I don't need to spend $800 to say, hey, I'm going to go from this camera to 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 this camera or to this camera. I don't have all of that extra whatever stuff. I'm simply using what I use, and I've been in this community for a long enough time, and new comes out and new comes out and new comes out, and everybody's, oh, I got the new TS18, and it's like, if your TS3 was working, don't jump too quick, because then you're not going to be able to enjoy everything. I believe in upgrading the Mac. I'm cool with upgrading the Mac, but I'm like real kind of slow when things are working fine and it's about your content. Ecamm's main purpose is to help you to get out to others in the best presentable way possible with ease and with a whole bunch of trinkets and gadgets and all of that stuff. But the hardware gadgets and stuff you add on to this, right? That's going to cause some people some problems, and we won't always have the answer to it. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to answer some questions. If you got any questions for me, I plan to go on here and just kind of tell you how I have my stuff like linked up, and maybe if it helps you, cool. Maybe I may say something that you might be like, oh, maybe that's what I'm doing. And then you can kind of ask me a question that maybe I don't know to answer on, yo, how are you doing this? Or what are you using in X, Y, and Z? And remember, folks, listen closely. This is not a, I got the newest thing, or I think this is better, tomato stuff. It's not that. It's just understanding, ask the question and find out. And if somebody's using the same exact thing you're doing, just listen, and maybe they plugged it in a different port. Maybe there's a setting that they know that somebody else doesn't know. So before I take a couple of questions, I want to say this though. Y'all can help me out and maybe break down and explain the high for 4K on a lot of people, right? So I've done some in the field recordings with the Adamus Ninja and my Cine rig setup and the full frame cameras and stuff. But everything you see me on a stream, all APS-C. Everything is APS-C, all the way down to the lenses. APS-C, 30 millimeter Sigma, 16 millimeter, the 18 to 50. Shout out to Wardy, or I forgot your name. I'm gonna get it, but shout out to you. I know she said she doesn't like the 1850 too much. I've never had a problem with it. Kit lenses. Every camera in the air is a kit lens. So I'll show you once again. That's a kit lens, right? This right here is a kit lens. This right here is a kit lens. Now, if you go to YouTube, or if you go to, or if you look in your settings, I'm streaming at 2K, right? So I'm at 2K with APS-C cameras, CAMLINKs, and my out on the cameras are only at XAVC HD, right? And I'm at 50 on these cameras, and that's it. And listen, no matter what any of you say right now, people say, yo, what kind of camera you using? You're doing look crisp. And I'm sitting there like, people are like, oh, I do 4K and blah, blah, blah. And I got the latest camera. And it's like, it's not that deep if you get your lighting right. You understand what I'm saying? Concentrate on your content, get your sound together, and call it a day, right? Like, it takes a while to work on getting the lighting right. Some people may be like, oh, you a little dark now, whatever. I don't care, because I figured this part of it out. But all of that other stuff, back off a little bit and enjoy the software. Trust me, it's going to help you, because this is not for the faint at heart. Now, I'll answer a couple of questions. Like I said, y'all can help me out with I get it, like repurposing. But I've yet to work with any clients that are really like, I thought I was doing 4K for some people, and I gave it to them in HD, and they were like, oh, this is the cleanest, dopest work ever. And I was like, yo, whoa, because you didn't contract me for 4K. You just said good product. And I decided I'm gonna do 4K and realized it wasn't even 4K because I didn't have my settings there. But the whole thing is, it still looked clean, crisp. It was fine. And it worked for their webbing and putting it on phones. It wasn't that deep. Okay. So what I did learn was, when I put my cameras on 4K or something like that, the ones that can output it, everything is like kind of like slow ski. So I back up a little bit and say, do I need to stream all the way in 4K? Is that going to make a real big difference in people seeing a colorful mic, a nice pink shirt, a nice background? Is it really going to make that much of a difference? Don't overwork yourself. Okay. So we have motivated minds. Honestly, I don't think that we hear enough from creators about configurations. This is good. Thank you. You're on the YouTube side. If you have a question about configurations, drop it out there. And I'll say this, Keith Pelzer is going to say it because I work differently. My accolades and stuff just came from helping first. And I believe that the bag comes after you help. We have a lot of hustlers, right? And I don't think hustlers are bad, but some people, we call it a hustle, but look, that's how they eat. And if the way you eat is you bum off at everybody else and say, oh, what kind of lens you using? And somebody tell you 16 millimeter Sigma, and then you package it up to sell it to everybody. If that's your hustle, do that. But there's a plethora, a whole bunch of other people that don't want to break off $200, $300, $400 just to find out, to go get an MV7, right? Get a USB version, spend the extra money, plug it into your laptop, and enjoy ECAMM. And you're going to sound good, get your lighting right, you done. Now, if you really want to go to that next level, now we have the classes where you need more than an hour of my time. Absolutely, it's going to cost you money. But a lot of this, I think, what I learned from ECAMM and I'm trying to give back is there was a place of at least help. And then it got to the point where it's like people are doing consultations because people they got gas and they can't afford the gas prices. Okay. Or the gas in their head. So let me just move into this. I think I've got some YouTube questions. It doesn't always have to be so deep. Exactly. David, what's going on? Can't wait for my new equipment to be delivered tomorrow. ZV-E10 and Sigma 16. Geeked. That's a combination that we know that simply works. That's exactly what this is right here in front of me. So yeah, I don't want to disturb this guy moving because I like him moving, but that's what's in front of me right here. So I use this. That's what's sitting right here in front of me on the desk, and that is a ZV-E10 16 millimeter lens. Now, I'm going to get back to the main thing that I was on here about, and that is about these daggone CAMLINKs. I don't understand what the problem is. So in the comment section, just drop in there. If you're using more than 2 cameras, I want to hear. So if you're over 2, tell me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tell me how many CAMLINKs you're running on your system, and is it flowing or are you having freezes? Anybody out there that's freezing over, say, at least 2 CAMLINKs, are you freezing? And if you tell me that, then we'll go into where do you have them plugged in? Because what I did was I copied my system. Okay, I got a 2. And in that 2, are they working fine? That's the next thing I want to know. Are they working okay? Okay, Kevin Cox, what's going on? All right, somebody else has got 4. And see, this is what I think we can help each other with, and to not crap on each other and say, oh, I got 4, mine works fine. Okay, add a little bit more. Tell me they're working fine, but kind of offer, what did you do? You understand what I'm saying? DJ Strick, you got more than 2. Got you. They're working great. What's up, KP? Got you. Whoever that was, got 2, and they're both good. Got it. Because I'm trying to diagnose where the problem. Okay, this is Doc. I'm just trying to diagnose where the problem came in, because I don't like to help people and then they're stuck and I can't help them. And so I have a friend now. He's got a fully loaded laptop. He got a CalDigit. And for some reason, CAMLINK's just dead. They're black. And I know one of his things was, I think so after the latest ECAMM update, they ain't working. And I'm like, dude, my stuff is still working. So I don't know. So I just want to help out. All right, I'm getting down through these columns. David is over on YouTube. He says, I'm curious, do you physically turn your cameras, turn them on and off, or do you have them in the on position and use a smart plug? That is what I do. I do a smart plug. I was laughing because my big brother Doc Rock is here, and like he said, sometimes I forget. I just leave the cameras on. I walk away from them and they're just on like 24/7. I got into the habit of using a smart plug, and I just tell homegirl, I don't want to say her name, but AELXIA, I tell her to turn them all off. I have the settings say turn production room off, and then she turns it off, and all of them go off. They're on smart plugs, dummy batteries, boom, that's it. Okay. And it's been working like that for 2 whole years in the pandemic. Great thing to see here. Motivated minds. 4 CAMLINKs, no freezes. Got it. 1 into a OWC. I like this, Kevin. So Kevin's got an OWC dock and 1 in the Mac Studio. Okay. So Kevin has 2 and he has them separated. All right. Let's see who else is on here. Sly Reader. Okay. I use 4 cameras with an ATEM Mini. Okay. So for people that are watching, this is another solution. ATEM Mini, I used to knock it. And let me be clear on why I was knocking it, but don't take my word on it. That is bad. I had the ATEM system Blackmagic at my church, right? And we were running 5 cameras at the church on Blackmagic software into a Mac. And then I introduced ECAMM to the congregation, and then we were using ECAMM, but we had a person up there who was physically switching the cameras, monitoring the room, right? And so they were just responsible for switching, then somebody else was helping doing ECAMM. Blackmagic was the easiest way to have more than 1 camera. And then there's a way you can actually do it with the Stream Deck and have a button trigger something and switch the cameras. The only thing that people don't really explain, that the reason why some of us were against an ATEM, right, was because if you set a scene with your cameras, for instance, if every time I went to this camera, I had an overlay or something like that, and I hit it on the Stream Deck, it's changing the camera, but the camera changes all in ECAMM. If you had a ATEM or Blackmagic or something like that, then ECAMM is only seeing that thing as 1 camera. Even if you had 20 cameras in it, it only sees it as 1. So when you start switching things on your Stream Deck and your scenes in ECAMM, you'd also have to go to the ATEM. That was the only issue with it. But listen, at this point, for some people, that may be your solution. So if you have those questions, you have Sly Reader who uses it, and she says they all work great, but I've played with the slew of lenses to get the look that I want. Good. See? Figure out the solution. Don't jump in and blame ECAMM for your problems, okay? Now, Doc says working fine because I'm Doc and my ish always work. I read manuals and I test things. Absolutely. And here's something. I'm going to get Doc on this one. People like Doc, myself, we read, we research, we dig through to find out. And what we know is that Elgato says we only guarantee on 1 bus, 1 CAMLINK. And they don't actually recommend, I'm not being totally literal with this, but the idea, paraphrasing them, they never stood behind throwing like 3 and 4 and 5 CAMLINKs on your computer. Boom, there you have it. Okay, so because they never stood behind it, once you try to go above what they recommend or what they stand behind, it's on you. Okay, it's on you. And people jump into a software based on people's platforms and stuff, and then they say something's wrong with the software because my thing is not doing it. It's not the software problem, okay? There was a question I saw. I didn't want to miss it. My buddy Fatima's in here. She's going to be on a big platform with Marshall Fox. Make sure you check her out. And Marshall Fox is doing something big. I forget what it is, but can you just redo my whole joint? Oh, that's what you were talking about. I got you, Fatima. Be quiet, girl. Shout out to you. Okay, check those USB cables and HDMI cables. Thank you, Kevin. Absolutely. Kevin brings up a great point. One of the times I was just so mad. I'm like, oh, my CAMLINK ain't working, blah, 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 blah. The computer doesn't see it. I don't know if it's an ECAMM update, blah, blah, blah. And it was nothing but a cable, okay? You got to be willing to do that work to find out, is that what it was doing? Okay, now, all right, Worthy. He says I got 3. Freezing on the 3rd one, plugged into the back of the Cal digit, then plugged into the front USB, and all 3 work now. Whew. So here's a question I want to ask. If you plugged it into the back of the CalDigit, and I'm assuming you have a TS3, if you have a 4, I can't vouch for a 4, I don't have it. Those are some things that we do where, I guess the way the bus reads, you may have to play around with the chords, and you got to sit up and do this work to make sure everything is cool. All right. So this is not a CalDigit issue or Apple issue. I swear it's an Elgato issue. Okay. Finna test cheap captures to see if it's any different. I think this is Dot Rock. I saw what you put up. You and Adrian were talking about it. And, you know, so everybody pay attention, because once Doc does that experiment, if he does it, you know, you may find out. I actually want to go to my my business building and grab the capture cards for Blackmagic and just test them. I just don't want to mess up. This is working. I don't want to screw it up. Okay. I'm up to the latest software on the updates on Apple and a few other things. Everything's working. I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay. Okay, I do that, but with power strips. Okay, someone says I do, I guess the on and off with power strips. Okay, and just flip the switch and start and finish of my shoot of the day. Boom, there you go. I recommend, and here's the thing, I would love to see people do this kind of language. I recommend, not this is how you got to do it. I recommend, right? And then in the recommendation, find out what people are using. Find out where their hang up is, right? And then there's a saying that we used to have is buy it right or buy it twice. You know, that kind of phrase. And I might be jacking it up. But, you know, if you want everything, you try to go the cheap way first. Sometimes we can't vouch for the cheap stuff, okay? And then we don't want to intimidate people with the, oh, I got the super X, Y, and Z. Me personally, I don't need full frame cameras to look at you. My APS-C's been working. I take pictures with the full frame. That's what most of them are made for. They're not meant to just sit on the desk unless you just got a ton of cameras and you just do whatever you want. I had an A7C in front of me and was like, you know, it's not messing with my live stream. So I didn't go down that route because I have to change these lenses, and it's an easier investment with APS-Cs in the room. I see people often, they're getting full frame cameras or like, ooh, I got the FX. And it's like, to sit on the desk and stream? Are you kidding me? That camera needs to be doing work, right? You hear what I'm saying? Because here we go. My A51 can sit in front of me. You know what I'm saying? For $300, that can sit in front of me with a kit lens on there and give me a decent picture. But at over $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, I mean, just to sit on the desk and to look at you, I don't think that's a good investment. That's just my opinion. Okay. Now, Bradley, what is going on? I like this guy. Bradley say lights are on that same strip, so it helps me not to forget. My lights are bright. Got you. Now, still using my OWC for all 4. I like to hear stuff like this. So Motivated Minds uses OWC. I don't have any OWC on any of my setup, but the OWC works on Motivated Minds setup. 4 cameras, it's working. So if you don't mind, maybe list what computer, right? You have the OWC, and I'm assuming your ECAMM as well. Okay. Look, hate to be that guy. The question was about CAMLINKs. So the A10 part of this conversation is distractionary, not helpful. It's like vegans at barbecue cook-off telling us they eat broccoli. Sorry about that. I apologize. Okay. I am the type person that will take and get an ATEM setup at home just to help people out that shall not be moved, that they stand behind Blackmagic and ATEM. I was Blackmagic before ECAMM, before CAMLINKs and everything, so I'm well into that system and I stand for it, especially on a big scale production, okay? So I am actually a Blackmagic fan first and that whole ATEM software, so wasn't trying to crap on that. Sorry about that, but you're right. I got you. So if you want all this multi-camera drip, get a deck link quad and an external EPCI chassis. Now, so my question there to help many of us out, because again, I've been contracted to do some rooms based off of how I'm doing my room. And I kind of went on here to grab in with everybody to find out, so I don't walk down that jacked up path, because I literally have to start with what I have. But some people want bigger, more faster computers. They want to put certain type of cameras where that's going to need SDI and all of that stuff. And I get this statement here. I love it. If you want all this multi-camera drip, get a DeckLink quad and external EPCI chassis. Now, what I looked up and I saw for HDMI plug-in, if people don't know much about SDI, I know there's DeckLink that only has 4 HDMI. So in the case of if you want more than 4, I think the answer is you got to get 2. So you have 8, and then you put it in the chassis. And then according to what Indy is saying, just for 4 and the chassis, you up to about $800 to have 4 cameras. That's kind of what I think is getting at. Now, comparatively, that kind of makes sense, because once you get 4 CAMLINKs and do all of that crap, you might be at the same number. So whoever, I think this might be Doc, whoever that was that mentioned this right here, that's the person that you can go to find out, or anybody that has the DeckLink. That's when you go to their YouTube. So I'm shouting out whoever in our community has the DeckLink and is doing it, that can show you this is what I'm doing and this is how it works. So this is what I'm saying, everybody. I'm showing you 7 cameras. Okay. So I'll talk about what I can show you, not a wish list of what somebody told me. Okay. That's how you help in community. Right. And then I don't stand on it's just going to work for you, because I have to still diagnose how long are the cords. I'll show you the cords, which way do I have them plugged in? If you listen to what Steve Worthy said, some kind of way he took the plug out the back of the Cal Digit and put it in the front, and everything worked and it stopped freezing. Boom. My Mac Mini, 2020 Mac Mini, right? M1 chip, 16 gigabyte. It was fine until I went up to I was at the 6 camera. When I hit the 7, at any given moment, one camera would just freeze. And what I end up finding out, it was always that same line. And then I tried to switch it up and found out it could be a different line. So I realized on my Mac Mini 2020, right, or whenever they came out, that guy actually would randomly have a camera freeze. Then I got the Element Hub, reconfigured everything, and it stopped happening. Never had a freeze again. Now with the Mac Studio, no freezes at all. I'm good. So again, I can't prove anything. I can just tell you what I'm doing, and if that helps, I can lead you through that. Okay. I do 2 cameras on each USB connection. Cool. Don't buy cheap cables either. That's a good one, James Hicks. Thank you for that information. Don't buy the cheap cables. Okay. I also believe that all cameras run at the same frames per second. Thank you. See, Richard, this is stuff that you and Doc and all you experts would know, Brad and all these other guys and whoever you are that's been doing this for 50,000 years. Shout out to you. I don't claim that. But yes, that is another thing to check. Make sure your frame rates are all the same. Now, I will tell you this. You won't see flicker on these 3 cameras. So this camera, you don't see flicker. The light down here, that is a LED like video light. Everything else in my room is hue, right? And I don't recommend Hue. Go back and see some of our old lives, and it'll explain to you why you don't want the regular Philips Hue, because the frame rates and the flicker. Now, I think if I go to this, they're on, but these lights up here, if I change the color, you might see them flicker because I didn't change these frame weights. But these cameras are on PAL. I put them on PAL, okay, PAL. Okay, it's not NTSC or whatever that is. Just these 3 cameras, I did that. Now this jib is that you might see flicker. Okay, if you look closely, you can see it flickering. So my frame rates are different on 4 of the cameras are different from these 3 up here, okay? I don't recommend that you do that. Do it the right way if you're going to do more than 1 camera. But because I don't show these angles that much and it's not that much of a distraction, people who are experts in this, you can actually see that flicker, and you can tell everybody in the comment section why it's flickering. The reason why you're going to see that flickers because I refuse to change this camera to the frame rate of my stationary cameras because I use this in the field. So because I take this camera off back and forth, I leave it on American frame rates, right? And then on these over here that never move, show you these 3 cameras right here, 1, 2, 3, those cameras, I switched them so that when you see this behind me, you won't get that flicker to compensate for I put all these lights up behind me and they're actually the wrong light for a video room. I hope that helps somebody, okay? I'm end up talking about lights, but sorry. Now, check the cheapest link. Thank you, Kevin. That's usually where it fails. You got to check your cables and all of that stuff, okay? Sean Boy, yep, you're dropping gas nuggets, okay? Let me see if I got a question and I'll get it. So problems I had are usually due to a bad HDMI cable, not the CAMLINK. I concur. And that may not be everybody's situation, but yes, motivated minds, I agree with you. And others, you might be able to agree that a lot of times we blame the hardware piece and a lot of times it can just be the cables. Okay. So always make sure that happens. Your avatar is in here now, Doc. There we go. I got it. So slide. I use 2 APS-C cameras and 2 point and shoot cameras. Got you. You don't have to spend a fortune to live stream. Thank you so much. I love you from the bottom of my heart. You're absolutely right. Listen, treat yourself, people. I mean, seriously, treat yourself. If the new ZV-E12 comes out, if you want to get it, go ahead. By all means, get it. But understand it could be something that's different or whatever. And if something goes wrong, boom. All right. Totally agree. Slide. Exactly. See, we agree with you. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Podcast setup behind with second stream deck. Wow. That's it right here. Yes. Thank you. That is, yeah, that's a whole separate thing built for my clients to do podcasting over here. And I'm actually running it on a Rodecaster Pro. Let me see if I can get it. Okay. Rodecaster Pro, the first Rodecaster Pro, not the second one, ladies and gentlemen. I kept mine. I had no reason to change it. These 4 mics run into here and this guy goes into the Apollo and the Apollo takes a submix and plugs it into the system for podcast recording. Notice, see, I'm popping these cameras around and I'm popping from a ZV-E10 to the cheap A51. That one up there, that camera right over here, that's an A51 with a kit lens on it. And this is what it's showing you right here. Boom. Okay. Kevin, okay, that's an excellent option for more HDMI captures. Got you. Kombucha, let me catch up. That was me. KP avatar is missing. Got you. Just trying to tell people in the community when we're talking about a problem, why folks always come with answer 42. Yes, you talk CAMLINK and I'm going to talk ATM. Sorry, folks. I didn't mean to get off on that, but that is a solution that some people may have to go to, just like the deck link may be your solution. And I was kind of sticking to my topic at the beginning, which was CAMLINKs and just helping, because I have some friends that are having CAMLINK problems and I don't know how to solve it. So I was really coming in to find out, are you guys having CAMLINK problems and are they freezing? So it's been too long. Keith done added 4 cameras since I've been going. No, I topped out. I was at 8 and then I just stopped. Okay. So Mac Mini 1 running ECAMM, learned a lot from Doc about configurations. See that? Told y'all, Doc is a great guy. Kombucha, he adds a new camera every 3 weeks. No, I don't. Okay. The reason that it worked for Worthy is because there are different buses in the dock. Thank you, Dot Rock. You just hit it on the money. The different buses in the dock. So I will show you guys. It's going to be hard to see it on the screen, but here is my configuration, right? And I will just embiggen this just for a minute and then kind of run you. I just got rid of it like an idiot. I will just embiggen this and then kind of run it for you so that you can kind of see what's going on. Let me take it from the top. So what you see here is I have this CalDigit Thunderbolt T3 audio, right? That's the audio. And then next you're going to see, let me move it over here. Then, okay. Sorry about that. Okay. I didn't set this up for a show. Then you have this USB 3.2 hub. Then you have this USB 3.2 hub. You notice there's a Stream Deck here. So there is the CAMLINK, right? So you see there's a CAMLINK, and then you have the Stream Deck, okay? And then you have the Stream Deck XL. This is all running in this whole line, right? And then there's my hard drives. So there's like 3 hard drives plugged up to the computer. This is all happening in this one computer, and I don't have the fully maxed out studio, okay? But here I think is where the trick is. I have the Element Hub. So whatever the Element Hub is doing is taking a load off of the cluster funk of the channel of everything. So if you're doing more than 1 or 2 cam links, you got to spread these guys out. Okay, you got to spread them out, or it may clog it. And then you have to find out, but all you need is one thing extra that the other person doesn't have, and then you cannot do the same exact thing that they're doing in most cases because something is different, and because the cam links aren't recommended to do what you wanted to do, that's where you end up with the problem. Okay. And there's that complete control. That's my keyboard. I got a bunch of empty slots on here. Now look at this here. I got 3 cam links in one hub line, 2 in the next one. So 5 of them are sitting in one spot, and the other 2 are split up on these other buses. Okay. Got it. And so this is how, this is why they work. Now, India Delgado says something that help you out, and I think Doc may have said it. With the deck link, from what I'm hearing, you don't have to keep like swapping, so here's what happens with ECAMM if you don't know. If you got more than 1 cam link, in most cases, or more than 2, this has been my experience. Let me clarify that. Keith Pell's experience. Once I went over 2 cam links, every time you turn the sucker on, the cameras may be, so 1 may be 2 may be 1, because your computer says they're all 4K cam links. Now they'll have different IDs, but it'll just read them wherever it wants and say, this is number 1. No, that's number 1. No, that's number 1. So what's interesting is, and I'll show you this, I set this up on my, because the jib is moving around, I did this little trick, and I'm gonna show you this trick that I did. Okay, on my CAMLINK, on the Stream Deck right here, I have a button over here that's called Camera Configuration. When I hit that, I have the A, B, C, D, E, F, G down here, and I have each CAMLINK 1 through 7 up here. So that when I turn it on, it literally takes me less than 20 to 30 seconds, right? I just look at, on the monitor up here, I look in the camera switcher, and I can just see all of the cameras. And so you have CAMLINK, and I have camera A, CAMLINK number 2, camera B, whatever. When they change up, I just take and go front camera and find out what letter it is, hit it, pow, it's all set, and I go back to my main scene. And that way I know that every camera is exactly where I need it to be. That's my hack to do it. If I don't tell you that hack and you get all these cameras, then you'll say, oh, it's never the same place twice. That's not an ECAMM problem, but you just got to deal with it because that's what you want. So you work your hack around it. And if you ain't built for that, keep it simple. Okay? Keep it simple. All right, I've been rambling enough. I'll just get these comments and I'll get out the way. So, okay, no experts, people who read the freaking manual. Not experts. I love Doc. He's right. Just read the manual. Start with the manual. Like, seriously, I do read manuals. I read the manuals and then I lean to my own understanding. And that's what creatives do. Manuals are gold. You're absolutely right. You said it like 3 times. Manuals are gold. Okay, that skin tone looking smooth, bro. No, skin tone ain't that good. I do have a LUT on now. Shout out to everybody that been using LUTs forever. I was just farting around with it. And so look, that's the LUT off. Okay, and then LUT on. Tomato, right? I feel okay. Field camera looks best in my opinion. Oh, you like that field camera? So that's the jib. And here's the other funny thing. That's the 18-135 Sony lens, right? It's not a Sigma. There's a black mist filter on the matte box over here. Maybe out of this camera you can see it. See it over here moving. There's a matte box with the filter on there, and I use this when I'm doing storytelling, or I'll turn the camera in vertical mode or just record in vertical mode in ECAMM for the movement and for the dreaminess of it. But hey, maybe it does look good. I'll leave it for a second. Okay, so see what Keith's doing here, getting us all riled up and involved. I guess, man. So let me explain. Look at this pic. It tells you which ports are the same bus if you think about it. Okay, look, folk, if you're on YouTube, click this link. Again, Doc is a master at helping people out. Okay, sports. What is the CalDigit model you are using with 7 cameras? So here's the thing. I was looking at some comments back and forth with Doc and Adrian and a few other people that got the TS4. I'm still on TS3. I actually have 2 TS3s, one on this computer, one on that computer over there. And the TS3 has been working fine. I had no need to go to a better one because I didn't have anything that needed better. Okay, everything was working. I didn't need to go to the newest Stream Deck because I like the 32 buttons. I didn't need to reduce my buttons because I actually had a loop deck, and I was pissed off because I just didn't like the way it functioned. And other people, they use the dials. I think my brother James Hicks has the newest one. Steve Worthy probably has the newest one. Many of you probably got the newer Stream Deck. It came out, but I didn't need it. It's kind of like the Stream Deck pedal. I kind of make myself use it because I bought it, but do I actually need it? Nah, I just reach my hand here. I don't have to be a ventriloquist and say, "Oh, look, ma, no hands." No, I just push the freaking button. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to change the camera like this. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need to do all of that. So for me, I didn't need it. Now, people that I'm cool with that play guitar and stuff, it is a gold mine. Okay? It's a gold mine. They figured it out. Boom. So that's why they got this stuff. But yes, I'm using a T3. And let me see your next thing. Using PAL and NTSC combination. That's probably why your not freezing system is only seeing half cameras. That is a good theory. You make me think now. Sports, yeah. I don't know what your tag is name-wise, but I'm going to just call you by your YouTube name. Ladies and gentlemen, think about that. That could be an answer, okay? For most people, don't shoot it down, don't lift it up. But I never thought about that because when I decided to get this flicker out of here, these 3 cameras, when I cut them on, they're on PAL. I changed it over, and you know, the Sony camera is going to say, "Are you sure?" Then once you do that, every time you cut them on, I don't actually have to go back because actually right now, let me turn this jib off and I'll actually show you these 2 A6100s. They actually say on there running on PAL. That's what they say. And those cameras, every time they come on, they're going to do that. And if I have clients, I have to go back there and just, tap one button so I can see what the screen is seeing. But they're black now with the writing running on PAL. And to your point, that might be the reason why my CAMLINKs ain't freezing, because 3 out of 7 are on PAL and not NTSC. Thank you. That's something I'm going to look into. Ladies and gentlemen, that may help. So for somebody, that may be the cheat. I'm going to try that over my friend's house. But again, I don't know what the problem is. He's got 3 cameras, fully loaded, updated, newer Mac laptop, CalDigit T3, and his CAMLINKs they're not seeing it. So I don't know. Clusterfunk. That's my word, Kevin. Clusterfunk. Okay. The hub is adding 2 more buses. Thank you, Doc. See, that's the experts know this stuff. Okay. Mad buses. There it is. That 5 is divided between 2 buses. See, we told you. We tried to told y'all. Okay. So I got 2 kind of like cheap hubs, 2 silver hubs that are plugged into the USB ports, right? The regular standard USB, and the 2 provide 8 USB-A, the normal one, where you can put the CAMLINK in it. And so I got the CAMLINKs in there across the 8. I got at least 4 in those. And then as I showed you on the screen, and then I got the other 2 just in other empty slots with the TS3. And everything just runs. Okay. Once again, for people who are asking the question, here's every camera, and you see no latency. Everybody's running. This one up here, that's 7. Okay. Now I will tell you this, listen closely. When one of my clients come in and they need to plug their laptop into my computer and they use it with ECAMM, I give them an overlay and they do PowerPoint through there and they output it off their computer. They read their notes on their computer. If I plug this guy up, one of the cameras will freeze. So my max out is 8. Okay, so the only port that I have left I can use, it'll actually freeze. However, if the 8th one is the HD60S Plus, everything runs great. I have no idea what that's about, but it will not take a 8th one of these, but it will take an 8th Elgato CAMLINK HD60S Plus, whatever. Okay, it takes that. I can't explain that. So, okay, one CAMLINK need to catch up. No, you don't. You're good. You're good. Stick with your one and enjoy your ECAMM. Okay. That is Mac OS, not ECAMM changing USB names, not us. Exactly. So thank you, Doc, for putting that out there. People, do not blame ECAMM for your camera, your CAMLINKs changing. That's Mac. Mac does that. Mac says, oh, here's another one or something like that, because it was really only designed for one camera or whatever else. Because remember, Elgato, their webcams, you don't need a CAMLINK for it. So the CAMLINK would be to bring in your screen, and then there's your computer camera so that you can show what's on your PlayStation, what's on this, that, and the third. That's kind of what they were designed for. We, with our creative cells in ECAMM, said, hey, ECAMM can see a ton of cameras. Let's just add stuff until we blow the sucker up, and we just never blew it up. There you go. Okay. What are you using to get chat messages to show up like that on the screen? Ooh, okay. I'm not the expert ECAMM person. Shout out to Fulgens and Anna, and to all of the ECAMM fam and all of the moderators and all in there. If you don't have ECAMM, jump over to it. The fact that you're asking me how I'm doing that means that you are not an ECAMmer. So whoever's over on the YouTube side for K12 Clothing, please put your affiliate link in there, and K12 Clothing, find one of them. Please just click on it and get you the two-week fully loaded trial version of it. You will not be disappointed. And I am simply I could be doing this right here on the stream deck and put up last comment and stuff, but I'm just hitting a button, and this is how I designed it, and I have it drop on. Most of my ECAMM fam, they got stuff flying in from left, right field, the dopest overlays, whatever. I just randomly throw whatever the latest thing is, and I just hit a button, and you select it on the screen. And see right here, you can see it. So here's your comment, and I take this mouse right here, and I just hit this and add it to the broadcast. Boom. Okay. And I have it set to stay up there for a little while, or I can hit a button and it comes off. Okay, so maybe you guys got it. James Hicks says, yo, K12 Clothing, that ECAMM Live, arguably the best live streaming platform on the Mac platform. Boom, you got it. See, if I was India, I would have some kind of trigger, but I just hit that bell. You hit it. Okay, good. You guys are already on it, so I can skip down and move. Okay, sports shit that has zero to do, okay, with freezing. Freezing is your dock or hub does not have enough juice to keep the CAMLINK happy. Okay, there you go. Sports, your dock pretty much answered the question. So it wouldn't be the PAL or the it wouldn't be PAL or wouldn't be NTSC. The thought of it would just be the juice. So case in point, ladies and gentlemen, to solve this problem over here, to sit over here at this desk, I'll just hit this real quick. over here to solve the problem at the desk, my mic setting is a little bit different over here. I just noticed I'm changing buttons and I'm changing buttons from back here. So case in point, if I'm back here, I will have the camera's focus. And let me see, can you catch me over here, dude? It's trying to grab the mic because the way I have it set over there. So I am blurred in the back because of that camera, and my mic is not up like I normally have it. But this CAMLINK that I'm using back here is so that I'll normally use my screen, the TV up here, right? The TV up top here, to see the comments and stuff if I have a bunch of people at the table. Once again, forgive my mic. I didn't set it up right, but I'm using the CAMLINK on this side. Now, in order to use that CAMLINK back here, I actually had to buy a powered USB cord, a cord that you can send power into so that it boosts juice to get back to the computer. And so case in point, before I got that, let me get back over to this desk. Okay. So case in point, before I got that cord, the issue was it was jamming my system up, and it did make the cameras freeze, or the Stream Deck started flickering because it didn't have enough juice. So let's add another piece. Most of my cords for the multiple cameras are short, except for the 3 cameras in the air. So the camera back here, I'm running literally a 25 footer from back there all the way around here into a non-powered hub. Okay. And it's working. Okay. So I realize the cameras don't need that much juice to push, but depending on your hub, if it can't handle it, that could be a problem. And that's where your freezers could come from. Okay. Thank you, Doc. So 60 Plus has its own power. Now, I don't plug it into anything. It's just a box. And it's not a powered box like you don't plug the box into the wall or something. It's just a box, and it has the extra inputs, but it is a bigger box. So I don't know how it's eating the juice. So if you want to get on different bus, use different connector. I use USB-A to USB cable adapter. Yes. So in some USA and some in USB-C, different buses. Ladies and gentlemen, here's one of the biggest things that'll help you out. Mix up your flow if your cameras are freezing. So try your best to separate each camera until the freezes stop. Okay. I'm at the point of just about boring. I got 3 minutes before it's before it's an hour. So I'm about done here. If you have a specific question, I will answer it. If not, boom. Let me catch up. Okay, I think I'm at the end. So, Doc, you have this active USB extender or active USB cable is what it's called. Okay, if you Google and got you. So the USB provides the power. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this has helped. If you have any other questions, inbox me, hit me up. I'll help to work with you. I like to use the ECAMM. I can do something like a quick consult or something. Not a consult of paying. You don't have to pay me for it. Just, we can try to troubleshoot it. So I'm going to call my friend up and find out why his computer is not working just with 3 cameras. He has a fully loaded, maxed out M2 chip something, and his CAMLINKs are like, nah, bruh, it's not doing it. So one last major point. This issue is mostly for laptops, not desktops. My brother from another mother, Doc, I thank you. That maybe answers a lot. So according to what you're saying here, we got to separate. Desktop is going to handle differently than a laptop. So, all right, Doc, I'm about to sign off, but let me ask you this, and you can drop it in the comment section. Would you conclude to a point, or you don't have to have this as a fixed answer, but are we kind of suggesting that there's a difference in the laptop and the desktop as far as handling the multiple buses and extra stuff? Because one of those things that most people give out there is, oh, I got the fully maxed out, blah, blah, blah. And when they say laptop, I'm just kind of like, I can't really help you with that because I don't have a laptop and I wouldn't use a laptop to run all of that stuff on there. And so the question that I didn't ask everybody is anybody using a laptop running like 3 or 4 CAMLINKs in whatever configuration, but off of your laptop? Or are most of us that have multiple cameras, are we mostly desktop users? Because that'll help people if they're Ecammers and they're strictly a laptop person, but yet they want to do what you do at home. They want to say, oh, I bought 18 CAMLINKs. And it's like, yeah, but wait a minute. Do you have a laptop? Because I have not done this on the laptop. I've only done it on desktops. I've done it on the old iMac 2020. I've done it on the M1, Chip 1, and a Mac Studio. That's it. Have not done it. And I don't know anybody personally that has done it on a laptop, something like what I'm doing here. Okay. Whether it's fully loaded or whether it's the first tier or whatever, I don't know. And so I think the argument can be whether your laptop is fully maxed out or not, it's not going to handle like a desktop, if that makes sense. Okay. Hope all that helps. And I'm going to get out the ECAMM community, wasting everybody's time in there. And so, again, I hope something has helped. If you want to talk about something else, you can hit me up later about that. Look back in the chat column and see some of the stuff that has helped. Okay. So Victor, I have a base model M1 Mini. Yep. With 7 cameras, webcams, but only 1 cam. Dang. Wow. I like that. And I'm pretty sure maybe your cameras don't reconfigure themselves because you're not using CAMLINKs. That's a good thing. I like that, Vic. You want me?
Are you live?
I'm live. My wife says living. Are you living? No, I'm not living. No, yeah, I am. I'm about to get off though. I'm getting off. This is just tech community people. No, tech community people. I was talking about CAMLINKs and stuff.
I don't know nothing about what you're talking about. You want food?
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wife bring some girl. Thank you. I've used my MacBook Pro with 2 to 3 cameras with no problem before, but not the Pelzer Special. I'm sure it would crash if I did. Whoever that is, God bless you. But that's the problem I got to solve. I got a Doc said, "What's up, Tina?" She said, "Hey, Doc." Jesus. All right, people. It's Thursday night. Got to finish up. Salute. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.